We've talked on the YouTube channel about the Dishonored series, but I wanted to talk in this segment of the show, guys, about what happened to Dishonored. Where is this series at currently? Is this going to be a series that continues into the future? Or is it in an indefinite hiatus or a limbo state at this current point in time? We just got done talking about Arcane Studios' newest game, that being Deathloop. And, these are the guys, of course, that have made Prey. They also have made the Dishonored games. And so with that, the question lies is, will they ever come back to Dishonored after Deathloop, or if they make another Prey game, or if they decide to, continue Dishonored at some point or another? When might we see that? So let's talk about it, guys. You leave me, your comments down below as to what you guys think and what happened to Dishonored, and do you think it will ever return? Let's get into it. So, guys, in an article written by PC Games, Prey developer Arcane made their name with the fantastic Dishonored series, which received the excellent Death of the Outsider expansion just last year. The games have been well received. And by the way, guys, this article was written back in 2018, but I think it's still relevant here today simply because we haven't seen a new Dishonored yet, and with the announcement of Deathloop, we might not be seeing a Dishonored 3 for quite some time. The games have been well received, so we're sad to say that fans should not expect to see Dishonored 3 get revealed anytime soon. This according to lead designer Ricardo Bear, who was interviewed by VG247 at QuakeCon. He told the site, "I can't say definitely what might happen down the road. Anything could happen, but Dishonored is resting for now." Bear suggests that the reason isn't due to the sales as some may expect, but more like Arcane wanted to do other games. Although they still want to continue making first-person immersive sims such as Dishonored, its various spin-offs and expansions, or Prey. As far as pure immersive sims go, I don't know if we're going to continue to make like Carbon Copy. This qualifies as an immersive sim, and it's the only thing we're ever going to make. The things that are important to us as a studio are coherent, deep world building and environmental storytelling. We're always going to craft spaces that you feel like you're visiting, whether it's Dunwall or Talos 1. It's just as important a character as the player or the people you meet. Then it's improvisational gameplay, giving players a bunch of cool abilities and tools, then saying, you figure it out, you be creative, you own the experience. And so obviously, guys, when we see this, and what he's stating here is that Dishonored is, currently in a sleep, right? Dishonored, and we know why now, right? Because of Deathloop. Deathloop is the next game that they're working on. Now, is this going to be its own, just one game that they're working on, or are they going to actually make a full-blown franchise and series out of Deathloop? It's very hard to say. What's interesting to me is that they say they want, they want to build deep worlds with environmental storytelling, and Deathloop certainly looks like it's got points of that, but it seems like a very basic concept. You're just fighting one other person, and I mean, obviously, we're going to have to wait till the full game comes out. It's a very interesting concept, though, and it looks like they may be taking a little bit of a multiplayer approach here to Deathloop, whereas obviously with Dishonored 2, it was a single player story and that was it. They kind of maybe want to expand upon like the multiplayer aspects as well as single player in Deathloop. So Dishonored's creative director Harvey Smith previously suggested that if the studio were going to do a Dishonored 3, it would have to feature different characters in different situations, since Death of the Outsider marked a definitive end to the current storyline. Smith said that he hoped there were more games in the series, but admitted that he honestly doesn't know if it's going to happen. We thought Dishonored 2 was fantastic, earning a perfect 10 from our reviewer Fraser Brown. And then, of course, Death of the Outsider was awarded a 9. Honestly, guys, in my personal opinion, I would love to see a continuation of this franchise, to see Dishonored, continue at some point or another. If we go over to the Dishonored 2 Wikipedia page, guys, as far as from a reception perspective for Dishonored 2, I mean, on Metacritic, PC, PS4, and Xbox One got about 88 out of 100. And then when we're looking at, Game Informer, 9.25 out of 10, IGN 9.3 out of 10, PC Gamer 93 out of 100, Polygon 8.5 out of 100, or 8.5 out of 10. Overall, it got great reception. As far as the sales are concerned, Dishonored 2 was the 4th best-selling game in its first week of release, but the launch week sales dropped 38%, when compared with the original game. Although only sales of physical copies were recorded, that same week, the game had sold the most pre-orders on Steam and was ranked 6th in overall sales. It was the 7th best-selling retail video game in the UK in its second week of release, according to ChartTrack, a 52% decrease from the first week, similar to that of its predecessor. After a reduction in cost, Dishonored 2 re-entered the UK charts in the 4th week of May 2017, ranked in 8th place with a 1,267% rise in sales. So with that, I think that we can agree that even though there was a drop, right, when you compare it to the original game, that sometimes but see, the thing about that is it dropped, but then it came back up somewhat, right? And so what I think, guys, is that it didn't sell great, but it wasn't terrible either. It got great reception. So I think one of the things that Dishonored, if they were to continue doing this and make a Dishonored 3, I think it would certainly be after, you know, the release of Deathloop. Maybe they want to continue making other games, guys, like maybe they want to come back to Prey, officially make Prey 2, or they want to, you know, do Dishonored 3, or they want to make, you know, more Deathloop games. It's really hard to say. I would like to see them make another Dishonored game simply because I think that they should round out a trilogy here at least. Don't just do 2 games and then be done with it. I think that they should at least have 3 games within this franchise before moving on completely. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. I think one of the things I'd like to see them do in Dishonored 3 would be multiplayer aspects to kind of bring you back to the game over and over again. But they are doing that with Deathloop. Let's see how they do as far as Deathloop is concerned from a multiplayer perspective as well as a single player perspective, because that may really quench our thirst, so to speak, for, you know, Dishonored, because maybe Deathloop is going to be something really special. It looks pretty good. We'll have to kind of wait and see, guys. But it sounds at the end of the day, with what happened to Dishonored, kind of weaker sales than maybe expected. And then on top of that, you know, Arcane wants to work on other things outside of just Dishonored. They want to kind of build their IP and brand into other games as well. And so with that, that's kind of where I think we are. I think Dishonored 3 is currently in a limbo state, or it's in an indefinite hiatus at this point, guys. Hopefully we'll see it at some point or another, and I'll keep you guys up to speed as more information comes out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Where do you think Dishonored 3 is? What do you guys think happened to Dishonored at this point in time? Let me know. And for more Dishonored 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.